Hello guys, welcome to episode 3 of the Back to School series. Today I'm going to talk about note-taking and the different ways that you can make really good notes, but also how you can combine these different ways in order to help you revise best. Before I continue, I'd like to thank PDFelement 6 for sponsoring this video. I'll get to their fantastic PDF production and editing software later on in the video. So when it comes to writing notes, there are a few key ways that I recommend. Firstly, it's making neat notes using lined paper. Now these neat notes will be very colourful, with very neat diagrams and with clear explanations. Secondly, it's your plain paper notes. Taking rough notes on plain A4 paper is one of the best ways to be actively learning and to repeat your content again and again in order to get it in your head. And last but not least, it's to create notes online using software such as PDFelement 6 or other note-taking software. So let's get to how we can write neat notes on lined paper. When it comes to writing neat notes, I recommend that you use high-quality lined paper. For example, Oxford brand paper is really good when it comes to taking notes. The paper's thick, but also it's so soft and it's such a delight to write on. And when it comes to notes that you're going to be keeping for 7-8 months, you might as well invest in some good paper that's going to last. Using cheaper paper for your neat notes might mean that after a few months your ink starts fading, but also cheap paper is very rustly and it's just very tacky. So when you're reading through these neat notes, it won't feel that nice. When it comes to writing notes on lined paper in a neat format, make sure to use lots of different colours, draw clear diagrams, make sure to label things, and make it nice and presentable. Now write these notes using a combination of resources. Wikipedia explanations, your school textbook explanation, but also your teacher's explanations, and put them all together in these neat notes. Okay, fine, so you spend 30% of your independent study writing these notes per week. How else can you then revise? Well, then comes in the plain paper method. Plain paper method is really good because it allows you to both revise the topic, but also at the same time allows you to create some rough but pretty understandable notes that you can relate to later on. So to write these plain paper notes, I recommend that you open your neat notes, the fancy ones on the expensive lined paper, and then you start condensing all that stuff, paraphrasing, and just making bullet points. Bullet points are actually a really good way of writing these rough plain paper notes. Make sure to sketch diagrams, whether it's a Sankey diagram or a few rough organic chemistry compounds that you need to know how to draw. Now on these plain paper notes, try and draw them a few times until you've got it perfect, and even for mechanisms, the only way they're going to get into your head is by repetition and drawing them out again and again and seeing where you go wrong. Each time you use the plain paper to revise, each iteration will explain the topic in a different way, because every time you've read it, you've understood different things, you've been confused by different things, and so each version of the plain paper notes of the same topic just gets a different perspective of the topic sorted. And just flicking through them very quickly once in a while, you're actually doing yourself a huge favour. I find it sometimes easier to read relatively messy notes that just explain things quite simply, instead of having to pull out my neat notes every single time I want to understand a topic. And sometimes I think, yes, I remembered roughly sketching a diagram. Maybe I could quickly flick back and look at that, and that could help me quite a lot, instead of having to go back to the lovely neat diagram you drew in your neat notes, which might be a bit too complicated or just a bit too neat during that period of confusion that you're in. And the last way of making really good notes is to use an online medium, for example a computer or your phone. Now if you're using a computer, whether it's Mac or Windows, I strongly recommend that you use PDFelement 6. So when you're making notes on the computer, it's important that you can include a variety of things, both text and diagrams. Diagrams are the best things about the internet, whether they are Google Images or screenshots of YouTube tutorials. It's important to include them because when you go through your computer notes, it's important that everything is clear and self-explanatory. The last thing you want to do is to be squinting at your computer screen trying to work out what your notes say. And remember, learning a diagram might be the equivalent of learning a whole paragraph of text. Online notes should be very clear, very simple, and also very easy to just flick through and be like, yes, I know that, okay, fine, okay, I know that, yes, I know that, and just scroll through understanding everything. PDFs are some of the most versatile ways of revising because you can create notes in PDF format, have it on the computer, but then you can send it to your iPhone or your Android phone, and then on the bus on the way to school, you can still flick through these notes. Now PDFelement 6, not only can you create documents, it's actually really good in allowing you to edit documents. So as a medical student, I know most of you will get loads of lecture notes and class notes. Now if they are in PDF format, this software will allow you to edit everything on the page. Let's say some parts of the poster or of the document are really badly written. You can simply use PDFelement 6, the software will convert the whole PDF into a bunch of text, and all the text is neatly organized in text box, and you can edit each text box whilst maintaining the font, the size of the font, without messing up the formatting. And then you can actually reword parts of the notes in your own words, making it much easier for you to go through when you come back to it in the future. Now at the moment, PDFelement 6 have a 40% off discount, so definitely make sure to go and check it out down in the link below and get the software. I've been using it for the past few weeks and I think it's really cool. Just to really push its limits, I got a PDF plane ticket and I thought, okay fine, how could I mess with this? And I managed to sort of change all the names, all the details, because this software pretty much allows you to change any text on any PDF. That's how good it is. So by using computers, you can make yourself some pretty good diagram-based simple notes that provide you with another way of learning the same topic. The best way to go about it is to learn it from different ways. Write neat notes, then write black and white plain paper notes, then maybe use flashcards, for example, Quizlet or Anki, to do questions and answers and test yourself. And lastly, use the computer to edit your school notes into more understandable notes, and also to create your own diagram-based notes where you can simply flick through them and learn things and revise things really easily. So hopefully this video has been useful, and once again, do use these 3 approaches to writing your notes. And lastly, I'd like to thank PDFelement 6. So thank you for watching, guys, and I hope you look forward to episode 4 of the Back to School series. Thank you, take care, and I'll see you soon.